Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn, and today we are checking out Everspace 2. Now, Everspace 2 has actually been available to play in early access, I think, for 2 years. I think it went into early access in 2021, and we're in 2023 now. But it is actually going official full 1.0 release, which is why we're here talking about it. And so you can actually pick it up, at least at this point in time, for $50. It is an action-adventure flight simulation game, and we're going to get a better look at it right now. We have the initial announcement trailer starting back at August 19th, 2019. Let's go. Well, this looks awesome. Like, visually, this looks sick. Yeah, the music is bomb. Jamming over here. Do we need to play some Everspace 2, y'all? I think I actually own Everspace 1 and got it in like a Humble Bundle or something and have just never actually gotten around to playing it. This looks like EVE Online. I mean, yeah, but EVE Online is definitely not what we're looking at. I've played EVE Online. Would not recommend. Only play EVE Online if you're looking at having a second job. And not because the game costs money. That's how much time it takes. 2021. All right. So they had a Kickstarter campaign, apparently, for Everspace 2. I'm going to take a quick peek and see how successful it was. 7,979 backers pledged 503,000 euros to get the game funded. Real quick, I'm going to see if there were stretch goals. There were stretch goals, and they only hit the first one, which was Rift challenges. Okay, so here is the Kickstarter campaign trailer. You can reuse this music. I'm fine with that. This music was great. It reminds me of the Star Wars X-Wing games. Yeah. Rogue Squadron and shit. Fuck yeah.
Greetings, space pilots. We're back
Hello.
with another Kickstarter for Everspace 2. Yes, you heard right. We're making a sequel, but not as you might think. This time around, it's not going to be a roguelike, but an open-world spaceship shooter with deep exploration, tons of loot, and classic RPG elements.
Fuck, you got a whole lot of... Holy shit, the number of just, like, check boxes that you just checked off for me. Your first game was a roguelike, Your second game, you're like, oh yeah, lootin', shootin', RPG, open-world space game? Fucking sign me up, bruv. Okay, go ahead.
But never had the money for. Taken from over 30,000 comments on social media, it is also exactly what you guys want us to make. Now we understand that trust in the developer is more important than ever, so let's have a look where development after 1.5 years is currently at. Everspace 2 is a vast open world game. That's why you need a lot of content to keep things interesting and fun. So early on, we started to expand on the lore.
Listening to your fan base? What? No.
And thematical depth to the universe you will discover.
Who does that?
Things are changing in the demilitarized zone of Cluster 34. New factions are settling in, old conflicts are reigniting, there are bustling hubs and remote nebulas teeming with bizarre wildlife, all just waiting to be explored.
Most of the world of Everspace 2 is going to be handcrafted, allowing us to make full use of Unreal Engine's powerful light mask tools for pre-baked lighting. This includes global illumination, ambient occlusion, and volumetric light maps. We're also implementing many of the engine's recent advancements, such as volumetric fog, Niagara particle systems, chaos destruction, and possibly even ray tracing. You will be glad to hear that we are keeping the much praised freelancer-inspired controls and fast-paced combat of the original Everspace.
Like some in-cockpit views.
Inspired by Diablo and similar loot-heavy games, Everspace 2 will feature a deep loot system with a broad range of equipment and abilities for your ship. You'll be on the constant hunt for better gear, be it through exploration, combat, trading, missions, and various challenges that await in the vastness of open space.
Okay.
There will be many.
Yeah, inspired by Diablo. That's what he said, Athena.
Think of your starfighter as a character in an RPG that you can level up and equip with an assortment of skills, weapons, and modules that fit your playstyle or the situation at hand.
We'll continue the hero's journey of Everspace 1, a stray clone on the run in the DMZ. He'll find a home base that can be expanded and populated with companions. Through them, he finds a new purpose in life and discovers what it means to be human. Everspace 2 will also have an RPG-like quest system with main and side missions.
Oh, buddy.
Players are free to roam and explore an open world with at least 20 to 30 hours of narrative-based gameplay.
So you might be wondering why we're doing another Kickstarter, even though the first Everspace was a commercial success. The release of Everspace would not have been possible without the Kickstarter community that not only helped us financially, but also creatively. Tons of suggestions and invaluable feedback have made the game the great success it was. So we would like to give our fans the opportunity once again to speak your strong ideas and maybe unlock a few stretch goals too. We got some really crazy ideas. Okay, we hope you like what you saw and that you're equally excited about Everspace.
It reminds me of Larian Studios.
Make an arcade spaceship shooter that you can sink hundreds of hours into. Thanks for your time and support. See you in space.
Larian Studios did the exact same thing with Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2. They didn't necessarily need the Kickstarter funding, but they did it as an option for people to have an earlier opening into the game and to be able to push further developments that they weren't going to have the funding for, as well as have the creative input in the game's development, what led to the games to be incredibly well received. Okay, so now we have the early access release trailer. This is from January of 2021.
I remember dying so many times. It's almost as if I never even had a life at all.
That war, the things we all did, it wasn't right.
Damn!
Feels like the edge of the universe.
You have no idea how big this whole thing is.
Yeah, the warp was very pretty, Choji.
Another bloody clone! I am eternally damned.
What? What was that? What? Another bloody clone. I am eternally damned. I'm sure that's a reference or a callback to something from the first game, but it meant nothing to me, but it was funny to hear. Okay, so now we're going to jump all the way to February 6th. This is the version 1.0 police PC release date and story trailer.
Dax, that body we just found. When I saw it, it felt like that was still me in there.
Your DNA scans show that you're a military clone pilot. No wonder you bettered my predecessor. What if I broadcast your profile?
You may not like who'll come looking for me.
Hundreds of loose cannons like you roaming the region and causing problems. Something had to be done about it.
There's something of great value in the DMZ. One big, easy job. Could be my ticket out of here, and yours too.
Your authority, your treaties, your lies, and your filthy presence have no place here.
They call themselves Rockay Prime. Any opportunity to trigger a new war would suit their purposes perfectly.
It is time to be clear about your allegiances. We can leave you in peace, or I can put you and your companions on a high priority eliminate list. Which will it be?
You don't understand what's at stake.
So, are you in?
Can we go underwater? That's cool.
I'm still trying to figure you out, Adam. It's clear you're running from something.
I can't help what I am. All I cared about to start with was getting out of the DMZ.
There's no going back now.
Things are looking up, Hive. I think I see light at the end of the tunnel.
Boom.
So soon.
Feel like I'm missing out on a lot from having not played the first game. I'm able to put together a little bit of what was on the first game. So the first game, we know it was a roguelike, right? We know that it was a game where you start from the beginning over and over and over again. The main character that you play in Everspace 2 is a clone pilot. So I'm guessing that part of how the game worked in Everspace 1 was that each run you were a new clone, probably always of the same guy. So you're a new clone in a new ship, right? And maybe the clone that you did that you were before got a little bit farther, found some materials or something to be able to get a new like gun retrofitted onto your ship or something like that. And so you have that option available to you. And then you were part of a war. That seems to be very obvious that there was a war going on and that they were using clone pilots to pilot the starfighters that were part of the war. And I'm guessing that at the end of Everspace 1 or between the end of Everspace 1 and when Everspace 2 takes place, the war is over in some form. The war has ended in some way. I'm just guessing here, but that's my guess. And that you are the clone pilot from the first game, that you no longer have to go through the live, die, repeat thing because the war is over, so they don't got to keep cloning you, so you just get to live your 743rd life or whatever it is. And now you're going out into the open Everspace to do whatever it is. It sounds like they're trying to get out of the demilitarized zone, the DMZ, and so it's probably the war is over. So where the war is taking place is now a DMZ, but it's probably on lockdown or quarantine or some sort, and so you have to find your way out of it. Bunch of wild random guesses, but that's just what I'm kind of picking up from what they're throwing down. So that is Everspace 2, currently sitting out of its early access. It has 5,119 reviews, sitting at 87% positive in those. It does go live into a 1.0 release on April 6th, which should be right around the time that this video probably went live. So it does mean that there will probably be, at that point, a full beginning to end experience. There's a lot more marketing for this game because as they were releasing more and more parts throughout early access, as new zones and new features were developed and released into the early access build, they were doing full trailers for each of those, but I didn't feel inclined to watch all of them here for the purpose of this video. But I have linked both the Rockfish YouTube channel as well as specifically the videos for the trailers of those features, zones, and releases down in the description below if you would like to check them out yourself. I've tried to make them as easily accessible for you if that is something that you do want to take a look at. But that's Everspace 2. That looks freaking awesome. I'll admit, I even said right at the beginning, I was like, $50, whoo! And that's the sound of, you better impress me. Well, congratulations, you impressed me. That looks really good. I actively want to play that. It does look like the version 1.0 is only available on PC by the way that this trailer kind of sounds and reads. Arrives on PC April 6th, but it looks like the game is going to be or is available in some form on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and X. I also see a PC Game Pass right here. So that means maybe this game is, I'll just open Game Pass right now and we'll take a quick look to see if it is currently or is going to be available on Game Pass, because that's a very important question to me. Everspace 2, it is available with your Game Pass subscription if you have Game Pass, which I do, which means that I already have access to this game, which means that I will probably just go play this game, although I will wait until the full 1.0 version is available, because this sounds like a game that I probably just want to play and then beat and then be happy with it. So yeah, there you go. There are your options if you are interested in that. That is Everspace 2. Looks fantastic. Incredible work, Rockfish. I'm very pleased with what I saw, and I'm very interested. Your trailers kicked ass also. Not only did the game look great, but you picked good music and you edited well to that music. Good work. So let me know what your thoughts are on Everspace 2. If you've been playing it in early access, how has the early access experience been? How has the implementation of those updates gone? I'd love to hear from you. If you played the first game but we're waiting until the early access period is over, how you sit and seeing these trailers. If you haven't played any of the games at this point like me, I'm pretty blown away. How do you feel though? Put all those thoughts and information down in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. If you want to keep the conversation elsewhere, two great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. Speaking of Discord, we have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we do stream on Twitch and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you do watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.